So we need discernment in these last days. Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, if you are a Bible-believing Christian, you believe that we are living in the last days, based off the things that the Bible tells us what will happen, and based off of what we see happening now. And of course, as the Bible says, there's plenty more to come. But we're going to need a great discernment in these last days, because there's going to be a lot of deception. You know, the Bible tells us that if it were possible that the very elect would be fooled or could be fooled. You know, the Bible tells us that if they say Jesus is in the desert somewhere, don't believe them. If they say that Jesus is in the mountains, don't go in the mountains looking for him, because the Bible tells us how Jesus is going to return. And if you know your Bible and you have great discernment, you can discern through a lot of the deception that's happening and going to happen. Now, an example of a great deception today is flat earthers. A flat earth, believing that the earth is flat. Now, it's hard to believe that in 2026 that there are idiots who believe that the earth are flat, or the earth is flat, but they exist. Now, several problems with the flat earth narrative. I would say, first off, that their arguments are very laughable when you listen to them. If you have a reasonable sound mind and you listen to these people, the things that they say is just downright laughable. But the main problem, though, is that their arguments aren't cohesive. Okay, they have to constantly keep moving the goalposts of the flat earth model to make the basic observable things that we see happening today fit. None of this stuff can cohesively fit on the flat earth model, and they have separate independent arguments to explain things. For instance, get a flat earther to explain how we have day and night on the disk with a ball, quote unquote, supposedly floating above that disk. And how do you have day and night? How does the light stop and only lights up half the disk? Right? Well, if you listen to them, the argument is not going to make any sense at all. However, get them to try to explain how we have seasons. Then they're going to try to explain how we have seasons on that flat disk. And then the day-night argument now, which didn't make sense before, really makes no sense now. Right? Get them to try to explain how we see the faces of the moon. Every month, the faces of the moon reset. How do we have these monthly faces of the moon? Well, when they try to explain how you have that on a flat disk, which is sun and the moon is hovering above these little that balls that's hovering above a flat disk, now the day-night makes even less sense than it did before, and so do the seasons. Just simply doesn't make sense now. The seasons, the argument that they gave to explain how the seasons work, now literally makes no sense. So they have to keep making these separate independent arguments to explain how everything works on this flat disk. Whereas as far as the globe goes, we have one model. We have the same model that we've always had. You know, the earth is basically moving around the sun. The sun is 93 million miles away. It takes 1 year to go around it, and it takes 1 day for the earth to spin. The moon is revolving around the earth. It's about 280,000 miles away. And we see this, it's tidally locked to the earth, and we see the same face of the moon every time. Again, this is the basis of the globe model. And everything fits. Everything we see happening in the world today fits on that globe model, and nothing is contradicting anything else. But anyway, what I've noticed, though, is there are a lot of Christians who are starting to believe this. This whole flat earth narrative is starting to grow with a lot of Christians. You know, many people who are Christian believe that Christ is against science, and that science and scientists are evil. None of that is true. Neither one of those arguments are true. The Bible is not against science. And I see that there are many people, like I say, many people starting to push this narrative. Like a popular YouTuber by the name of Melody King, she's lately have been putting out a lot of conspiracy theories and information. The problem is that she's putting this information out without any discernment whatsoever. You can tell she has no discernment. That she only listens to flat earth people, but she never listens to what any globers say. And as I said before, anybody of sound, reasonable mind, if you listen to the flat earthers and then listen to the globers, what the globers say makes perfect sense, and everything that the flat earthers say is just nonsensical when you start to think about it. So this is why we need real discernment going into being in these last days. Again, there's a lot of info out there on, dispelling the flat earth narrative. But I've decided that I'm going to start making a series of videos, again, putting the information out there so there's more information for people to see. So that, again, because I want to be part of preventing the very elect from being fooled by nonsense and the nonsensical narrative. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents on this. The earth is round. The earth is a sphere. All the evidence in the world proves this. And as always, until next time.